Welcome back to another episode of Game by Thrones. As always, guys, if you're enjoying the content, enjoying the new episodes, feel free to hit the like button, subscribe. It's free. You can unsubscribe at any time. Now let's get into this week's episode.
All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of Game by Thrones. We have actually a really short episode today, and one of our members is on the road. Chris, tell us where you're going.
I am headed down to the Iowa-Penn State game, maybe the biggest game of the college football weekend, actually the biggest game. Who cares about the Red River rivalry? Whatever. But yeah, first time going to a game in Kinnick. It should be a good one.
We told Chris that he can't go on Snapchat during this because he's on a Zoom on his phone. So if you see his camera disappear a couple times, it's because he's leaving the app.
You know what
and
he's doing
a couple things. Jokes aside, Iowa-Penn State is today. That's what we're going to focus on mainly on this pod, maybe a little bit of Vikings, and then Lake Mills, Waldorf at the very end. We don't have much time because Chris is arriving at Kinnick very soon for some tailgate action. But Iowa game today against Penn State, 3 versus 4. Is this the biggest game since 1985?
Yes.
It has to be.
And I don't think it's even close.
I mean,
what games even compete with it?
You could say Michigan State, Iowa, Big Ten championship game, because if Iowa wins that game, they're in the college football playoffs.
That's true.
No, correct. In Kinnick, though, yes.
In Kinnick, yes.
Correct.
Because usually, at least for the past decade, I can't really remember that many games where we're really, really good playing against a really good team.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
at
we've
the same
knocked
time,
off some good teams, but
yeah.
right. Yeah, no,
I totally agree.
It's definitely the biggest game in Kinnick since, 1 versus 2 against Michigan?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I believe they won that game, and then they ended up losing later that year to Ohio State. I think it was the Ronnie Harmon game where he fumbled like 47 times. But you get a kick
maybe
out of that
a little
Harmon.
less. Yeah, that's funny.
Ronnie Harmon
yeah.
might have thrown that game, if you guys don't know. Anyways.
Side note, too, though, the biggest recruiting weekend in Iowa football history right now.
Well, that's what they were saying. Some of the recruiting people were saying this is by far the most talent they've ever had in a game.
Top 3, Xavier Nwankpa, obviously, Caden Proctor, and Kyler Casper, 4-star receiver.
And
his dad played at Iowa.
Xavier Nwankpa blocked a field goal last night to help him win. I think his time
Saw
expired.
That.
Which is kind of wild.
That.
I mean, the
guy's
a safety. The guy's a safety, and he's had a game-winning Hail Mary this year and has blocked a field goal for the win. So he's obviously just a good ball player. It's not like he's very limited. Only good at safety. The guy is a jack of all trades. He can do a lot of things on the football field. But with the game today, I'm not really sure how to feel. I guess we won't be getting. Oh, we might get this out before game time, maybe mid-game. But Penn State, I don't know what to think. Like, part of me is like, oh man, Sean Clifford, not a bad QB, has a really good receiver. Maybe they can do something. But then another part of me is like, this Iowa defense hasn't given up anything all year. Like, is it going to start now?
Right. We've typically lately been good against spread offenses, but it seems like if any spread offense gives us troubles, it's Penn State's, and I don't know why. Now, granted, they don't have a Saquon Barkley. They don't have I don't remember the running back last year. Their running back game has struggled to start the year. So that's different. Instead of Saquon running for like 200 yards on us when he was there. But Clifford's been playing well too. And we got to get our running game going against their defense. So
they have a good defense.
I don't think the defense will give up a whole lot, but I think the offense is going to have to score more by itself.
Yeah, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. To me, the only way that Iowa loses this game is if Petrus
has a massive mistake.
Has either 1 or 2 defensive touchdowns, a pick 6, fumble 6, something like that gets the momentum going.
Or giving them the ball in their territory or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy that scares me the most is Jahan Dotson. He's playmaker. If Iowa can keep him in check,
we almost just witnessed a crash here.
What happened? Give us a play-by-play. What happened?
This car was just drifted. Jared claims it's a Penn State fan. Car was tripped into the right lane, and a truck was just about to hammer it. Just laid on the horn. It's an old lady. Oh man! All right.
Shout out to Jared Feener, who is a friend of the pod. Is the first ever owner of Game by Thrones merch.
That's
and
right.
he's actually driving Chris right now. They're going down
That
to
he
Kinnick
is. That he
together.
is.
Yep.
So appreciate Jared, even though he can't hear us right now. Appreciate all the support he's given us over these past
Absolutely.
8-9 months.
Chris,
Yeah,
I do have a
since we
question
started.
for Jared.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question for Jared.
For you. I'll read that.
Yeah.
How was the merch? Because I'm going to be honest, I didn't order any samples. I just did a bunch of research, and I hope it turned out well.
What is your opinion of the quality of the shirts?
I like it.
He likes them.
Yeah, the
Yes, sir.
print on them is very clean.
Print on them is very clean.
I'm glad because I watched a bunch of YouTube videos, but we never actually sampled it. So
Yeah,
Glad
we're
it turned out
new.
good.
I mean, I think we did pretty well for the first one.
Yeah.
Or
I've had,
after.
I've had numerous people tell me that they're going to buy a hat, but who knows if they actually will.
Yeah, you guys
Shout
do
out.
it. Come on,
Yeah.
everyone watching right
Matt,
now.
to be fair,
Okay.
he had 2 years to get this done, so they
No,
should be good.
okay. Here's the thing, though. Everything was done on the merch side. None of you understand.
Yeah, he had the merch done.
There's like
Oh no,
5
we
different
know,
components.
but it's fun to make.
Yeah,
fun
we
of.
know, but yeah,
And,
it's fun to roast you.
No, you're right. I didn't do anything with it for like 3 weeks.
Matt would text us, hey, I have an open day today. I'm going to get this merch done. Then, like, the next day, we're like, oh, how'd the merch go? He said, I didn't work on it at all.
Hey, your boy's living. My life's a movie. Okay, I got things going on.
Okay, Trevor Gunderson. But back to Iowa. I agree. If Iowa can get a run game going, it should be a handle job by Iowa. Tyler Goodson's had a couple really good games this year. The O-line, I feel like they've started out maybe a little slow each game. I know Tyler Goodson's had some early long runs, but I feel like it's more due to like play design than, like the offensive line just dominating up front.
Yeah,
But the offensive line can get some push on the Penn State D-line and, put pressure on the linebackers, make some plays. Then I think that's where Petrus can kind of branch out and make some throws down the field, and everything just gets clicking after that.
absolutely. Honestly, our receivers, for the most part, have generally been getting open. It just, one, depends on Petrus hitting them. Two, the line giving him enough time for those deeper patterns.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And then it helps that Iowa has the best offensive lineman, or maybe top 3 offensive linemen. I haven't really looked at any mocks in the country, in Tyler Linderbaum. Chris has a bunch
He's
of
the top
bomb squad
interior
merch.
lineman I know.
Yeah.
I
don't know
have
if there's a
seen
tackle
multiple
in that,
mock
though.
drafts mocking him at like 8 overall, 10th overall.
Yeah.
Like for
then
a center,
I
especially, that's pretty rare.
I did see one like a couple weeks ago though where he wasn't even in the first round.
Yeah,
so
it's
I don't get it.
interesting.
So I don't.
Yeah.
It's about team need too. That's what's different, I guess, about the NFL. Like NBA, you can kind of just go with best guy available, but NFL, it's very need oriented as well. So like the number 1 overall draft pick might not be the best player even in that team's eyes, but it fills the biggest need that team has.
There's kind of a weight there. It just depends how much you put on the position you need compared to how good the guy is overall. But yeah.
Yeah. So what time's Iowa games at 3? It's at 3 today,
3,
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
The late game is gonna look awesome at Kinnick. Like not quite dark out, or probably dark out.
By the end of it, it'll
By
get
the
there.
end, it should be.
Yeah.
Yep.
But as the sun's setting, I think we've all seen the clip of Joel Klatt on Coward this week.
Yep.
Just talking about how beautiful Kinnick is.
And Iowa sunset is too.
Yeah, Coward talking about the Iowa sunsets. It's gonna
Coward
be.
actually talking us up for once.
He even said that.
Yes.
He's like, yeah, I've had my
I've had my
problems
issues
with
with
Iowa.
Iowa. Yep.
I've had my problems with Iowa, but I get it. He saw the Iowa sunset, and he totally gets why people love the state of Iowa so much. Penn State, I don't know how to feel about this game today. I've talked to some Iowa fans who are super confident, mostly super confident. I think I've only talked to like 1 or 2 that were like, I don't know if this team's legit, but it's kind of weird to have so much confidence in our favorite team because usually we aren't that way. But this team just feels
I'm
different.
in the middle right now.
You're in the middle?
This team is different, but I just know maybe it's more of my favorite teams or our favorite teams just letting us down all the time.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just part of it, not necessarily Penn State themselves. But this defense, it's legit. And if the defensive line can get some pressure, keep Clifford contained, I think it'll be all right.
Well, even last year, I know obviously it was the Davian Nixon pick 6 game, but that was kind of just a cherry on top at the end. Iowa kind of already had that game won. But both teams haven't lost a game since then. Penn State's won 9 straight. We've won 11 straight. So a total of 20-game win streak coming into this game. I'm excited. I totally did forget that Davian Nixon play happened against Penn State last year, though. Because I was like, how did we do against Penn State last year? And I forgot we beat them by like 20, and Davian Nixon had a Euro step on a pick 6.
Yeah. That was awesome.
Yeah.
If we had him this year on the interior D-line, that would have been sweet.
Oh, my gosh.
It'd be over. It'd be absolutely over, bro.
Yeah.
Well, Matt's cooking up some stuff over here. What are you looking at, Matt?
I was just
Penn State
looking at their
lost
schedules.
Their first 5 last year. Penn State started out.
Yeah, they were 0-4 when we faced them. So
yeah. And then they won their last 4 games of the year. Also, we should also mention that Big Ten has 5 teams in the top 11 or 6.
5, I think.
So it's Iowa, Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan, Michigan State. Is that it? Because then Wisconsin's dropped a ton. They're not in the rankings.
Yeah, that's got to be it.
Indiana's dropped a
Minnesota,
ton.
Purdue, Indiana. No,
Yeah.
Michigan State's 11th overall. I did not realize that.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't lost. They should have lost against Nebraska, honestly. Nebraska is a lot better than what people thought. I know they haven't won very many games, but
Nebraska is the second best team in the Big Ten West right now.
Wow.
It's wild.
Which is,
but
they have
the Big Ten West also isn't great, so.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's usually the weaker side of the conference. Yeah. It's usually the weaker side of the conference, though. I mean, the other side has Ohio State, Michigan, and Michigan State.
Well, right. But, I mean, the problem is Wisconsin and Minnesota haven't pulled their weight this year at all.
I mean, neither is Northwestern. Northwestern's usually solid to, pretty decent, and then they're terrible garbage. Which is very surprising. I think they had a bunch of guys transfer. If I'm right about that.
Somewhere else.
Yeah, Bowser for sure went somewhere
else. I thought they had
their
quarterback back. So.
Maybe. But Northwestern's kind of, I'm not going to say Iowa-esque, but they always just have a bunch of just gritty, maybe not the most athletic guys. Just, I don't know. They're usually a very gritty football team.
It's true. With an absolutely terrible field.
Just the worst field of all time.
There is no way that place is fun to watch a football game.
I mean, it would be kind of fun. It'd have a small school feel to it.
Yeah, but it's not like a small compact field. Like when you watch on TV, you can't even see the stands. I swear.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just weird.
Kinnick, I will say, when did Kinnick get that new turf, that nice looking turf? Because I was watching the Ohio State game when we beat Ohio State, and we had it then. I didn't realize it's been that long.
Say it was right before that.
Okay, because it used to be grass before that, right?
Yes.
Ooh, Chris just clicked away there. That was a very quick Snapchat by Chris right there.
No, I'm making sure my brightness is up because it's going down with the sun.
Gotcha. That is actually an annoying feature about phones.
It is.
I'm not gonna lie.
And it's all the way up, but it just adjusts. It's a volume.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But I mean, anything else to say about the Iowa Penn State game today? We should be able to get this out at least before the end of the game.
Yeah.
Hopefully people listen to this.
We don't have to do scores, but we should do predictions.
Predictions? I don't have my phone. Can I have?
No.
Can I have a list of the scores?
That's me. I don't do that.
A list of the scores?
Oh, I thought we were doing picks.
Well, we can do pick. Yeah, we can.
Chris doesn't do it. Maybe Chris, you're a Kirk Herbstreit. You're calling the game today, so you don't have to pick it.
Yeah,
you're personally involved. Okay.
You're at the game. Conflict of interest there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Iowa. 21-17. That's what I'm gonna go with.
You should hit the under then. Under's 41. I
41 is so low.
yeah, it is low.
Jeez.
It is low. I mean, I don't think Penn State scores more than 17. Obviously, that's kind of the threshold of Iowa hasn't allowed. When's the last time we allowed over 17 points in a game? I know 24 is the big streak, but like
We allowed over 17 to somebody.
no, 17 to Iowa State when they had
Iowa
that garbage touchdown
Okay.
at the end.
Look back at last year.
Year to Illinois, 21.
Last year at Illinois. But that was a beatdown. We got up big, so I'm sure that was a garbage touchdown that got into that.
But
too.
anyway, I'm gonna go 24-17, and I'm gonna say that Penn State gets I'm gonna say Iowa controls the game. Penn State has a backdoor touchdown at the end.
A little backdoor action.
So 24-10 to 24-10,
Well,
and then they score late.
Yeah, they score late. Yep.
All right.
I think Iowa gets up early, and I think it's just the thing about Penn State is if Iowa scores first, that first drive from Penn State is going to have so much pressure on it. That defense is going to be swarming.
Yup.
And Kinnick is going to be rocking.
I did read a bunch of
Kinnick's
tweets.
going to be insane.
It's I didn't realize John Miller was saying that the amount of former Big Ten players that have the respect they do for Kinnick compared to the Big House. They said the Big House is a snooze fest, even though it's so many people are there. Just
the general
former
consensus.
Big Ten players he's talked to. Okay. John Miller.
It's just a name. Like
yes,
it's just
and the horse.
They also fit. They fit like 100,000 people in there, which is insane.
Yes.
I was just talking about that with somebody the other day.
Imagine
having 100,000 people in a concentrated place.
It is insane. But like Iowa is by far, with the foreign players he's talked to, Kinnick is by far the hardest place to play. And the thing he said was like on a regular day, just a regular game, Kinnick is at the very top of the Big Ten in terms of noise levels, not to mention a game like this.
Well, it's probably how it's kind of constructed, too. I would love to see,
Probably.
not necessarily, I guess like a sports science type thing. I would love to see what the optimal stadium construction would be for like crowd noise.
Yeah.
I feel like Seattle is one of those.
I was going to say Seattle would have to be.
So
because,
tall
yeah.
and steep. It goes over the
It doesn't
It'd have to
widen
be
out.
Seattle.
Yeah.
Well, because they're always up there for like breaking the crowd records
Arrow-
for decibel
Arrowhead
levels, and
in Kansas
Arrowhead's
City's
always up there.
too. It's
Yeah.
kind of the same
Which is-
way.
that's because there's just a bunch of Matt Doves down there who are just going absolutely insane and
Just a bunch of psycho.
Yep.
absolutely. Do you guys want to go over our picks for the day? Question mark.
Sure, let's do it.
Might
Picks
as
for the
well.
day.
I haven't even looked. I got to look.
So there's two actually really intriguing ones, and it's the two best teams in the country. Alabama against, I can't even remember who they're playing. Texas A&M.
Texas A&M, yeah.
Minus 18. I think Alabama kills them.
I feel like that's a hammer.
Texas A&M's backup QB, if he's still playing, he's not very good. Like he's awful. So that's one to keep in mind. Georgia against who are they playing? There's Auburn. It's minus 15 against Auburn. You think Auburn's going to put up any points against that defense? Auburn almost lost to Georgia State. And I know it's not like directly like comparable. Like teams are going to have bad games against, lesser teams, but Georgia looks like the best team in the country, and if that's what they are, they should destroy Auburn.
Yeah.
Like absolutely kill them.
All right,
There's so many games on this slate. Holy cow. Okay, Chris, let's hear it.
Hold on. I just looked at the spread on Score. I got to look at
That's
it on
fine.
FanDuel quick.
No, that's
Yep,
okay.
same
Just use
thing.
the score one. That's all right.
All right. Minus
I can tell you,
4.5,
too.
Michigan State over Rutgers.
That's mine too,
I
Chris.
love
That's
a
a
money
hammer.
line. I have a money line on my parlay, my 11 o'clock parlay today. They should just pound the
My
ball.
11 o'clock parlay.
Well, this is how I do my Saturdays. I do all 11 o'clock games, and I haven't
And that way,
hit
if
one
it goes south,
all year.
you can-
But if you do all 11 o'clock games, you don't have to wait for anything. So
you
if
do.
your bet loses, it loses right then and there.
True.
So then you have the afternoon games, and you can do a little something with that, and then you have the late games, and then you have the late games. You have the Pac-12 after dark games.
Yes. Pac-12 after dark.
Pac-12
The
after
most boring
dark.
games of all time.
No, it gets the people going. You're not a real college football fan if you don't like Pac-12 after
You
dark.
only like it because you bet on it.
Well,
A lot of
yeah,
points.
it's because at college we'd just be up really late.
A lot of
and
points
the
scored.
The games would just be played like super late, especially on like Fridays, like last night, like with that Stanford game.
Yeah. Right.
Just super late games. It's just fun. It just gives you something to
It is
watch
fun.
when it's almost
Very fun.
midnight.
Yep.
I just hit my coffee cup twice. That's going to be annoying to hear on the podcast.
So are we all three going Michigan State minus 4.5?
Oh, no. Are you? Is that your lock?
That was already
You're
going to be my lock.
agreeing
Yep.
with the lock. You're going to make me be the odd man out. I'm not copping out. I'm not taking it.
I think
I'm not copping out.
I
I'm not
think
gonna take
Oklahoma
that,
has
bro.
a chance to lose today. I really do. I think Texas
Texas defense is awful. But
Texas
so
defense is
Oklahoma's.
awful, but Oklahoma has played down to every
At
opponent.
Oklahoma or Texas?
It's at Texas.
Woo!
And
I put
Bijan
them plus
Robinson-
7.5. I bought 4 points.
Guys, it's a
Yeah, let's
neutral
hear it.
field. It always is.
Really?
Oh, is it really?
It's in Dallas.
That's tough.
Really?
How do we not know that, Zach?
I've never
Is that
known
the
that,
Cotton
yeah.
Bowl Stadium?
They didn't know the Red River Rivalry is neutral field.
That's tough. That's
Oh,
tough.
my
All right.
Lord.
Well,
Never knew
It's
that,
usually in
man.
the Cotton Bowl.
I did not know that. Oh, okay.
Wow,
Whenever I hear the Cotton Bowl, I think of
Shocking.
the Express.
that's true. Great movie.
Yep. Very good movie. If you've never seen The Express, story about Ernie Davis, you probably don't even know who that is, so you better watch it.
Okay. Another thing to monitor is that Maryland's I know Iowa's defense was awesome, but like Maryland lost their best receiver against Iowa for the season, and that offense could do nothing afterwards. And so I could just see Ohio State killing them as well, because it looked like, I know that
for
was
sure.
one game, but the momentum that took place after he was injured, the swing was unreal.
Yeah.
And so I would be very comfortable.
But also remember,
with
Ohio
Ohio
State's
State killing.
defense hasn't looked great at times.
It has not looked great.
This is true.
But it
And
did
they had a
hold
linebacker.
Rutgers
They had a
to 13.
linebacker quit mid-game, and he
Yeah.
tweeted "F Ohio State." So keep that in mind. He literally took off all his pads, went to the locker room, and quit the team.
And now he's transferred.
Bad deal.
Yeah, that's
I
tough,
wonder
that's tough.
what program would take a guy like that though.
We want a guy that quits on his team.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Unless you're like a lesser program, like a small
No.
school,
You're right.
taking like
Right.
a bounce back. Waldorf, hit him up, please.
That's right.
Linebacker, big dude. Exactly. Come on now. Who won't want to go play for the Waldorf Warriors, baby? Let's go.
Oh, we got little kid soccer on a Saturday. Just a bunch of
kid
soccer
sock?
kids.
Okay, so we just got the notification that we have 9:50 left in this meeting. Zoom doesn't
right.
do the thing anymore where they extend it. Oh, it's because you've been in here. That's
yeah.
right. One-on-one, they extend it.
Yep.
But, so we have limited time here, and Chris is going to be getting going. So what else do we want to talk about quickly? Vikings play Lions. Lions missing a bunch of O-linemen. If the Vikings don't kill, we are not a very good team.
Yeah, let's just put it this way: if the Vikings can't win this game, if the defense can't have like 5 sacks against
Zimmer's
the
gone.
line, Zimmer's gone. Teams
Zimmer's gone if we
rebuild. It's over.
Which would be very, very sad because I still think this Vikings team's very good. But if you
I
start
do
1
too.
and
It
4,
just- they haven't been good
you-
enough.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can't get it done.
Yeah,
They're gonna beat the Lions though. I'm not worried.
I really hope so. I really hope so. Justin Jefferson should absolutely feast.
Yes. And it's
Yeah.
not like the Lions have a pass rush.
I want to say they lost one of their better pass rush guys too. They have a lot of
they do,
injuries.
yeah.
Like
They do have a
Taylor
lot of
Decker's out, Ragnow's out, and Penei Sewell's questionable.
Yeah.
And the O line's supposed to be the strongest part of their team.
Yeah.
That's like their
their
3
wide
best linemen.
receivers are
Ho-
garbage.
Hopefully DeAndre
should
Swift
be.
still
He's
goes
questionable
off.
too. He's questionable
He's
too.
been questionable all year with his
Okay.
groin injury.
Well, they're saying he's fully unlocked. He got over that groin injury,
And then he didn't get over
He
it,
didn't
yeah.
get over it. Yeah. What else do we have? Do we want to look at any NFL games? Do we want to? Let's talk little Lake Mills football. Lake Mills football took on North Butler last night. Scored first, go up 7-0, down 14-7 at half. North Butler, I think, is ranked 6th. I think I saw
What's North Butler ranked? 4th.
4th. Very good from what I've heard. Very good in both sides of the ball on the line of scrimmage. They have a kid named Chet Buss who's going to play, or he's going to wrestle at UNI. Huge kid, very athletic. Lake Mills. I mean, they hung with him for a bit there. Down 7.5. Sounded like they were moving the ball.
Huge kid, very athletic, but also had 3 personal fouls or whatever they call them last night.
That's what I heard. I heard they had numerous of them.
Might be a little bit of a hothead.
They play West Hancock next week. The Battle of Undefeateds. Get Jared. He doesn't have to, but can Jared give us a West Hancock North Butler prediction?
West Hancock, North Butler prediction. We already talked about this. I know.
You already talked about it? Okay.
35-14 West Hancock.
35-14. Got you. I was going to say, I think West Hancock handles them. St. Ansgar hung with West Hancock for a little bit last night, and then West Hancock kind of put it on them.
We should toss out some things. What were the records you were talking about earlier?
Seth Hermanson holds the career record for sacks.
Seth Hermanson holds the career record for sacks.
Career? Not even single season?
Nobody else has had double-digit in a career, and he has double-digit this year.
He has 13.
13 this year.
How many did he have last night?
How many did he have last night? One last night.
Okay.
Sacks, not tackles for loss.
Caden's one touchdown away from tying the receiving career record of Andy Stencher's.
Gotcha.
Bennett's 7 passing touchdowns away from the career.
And I know Caden's close on single season yards to Slade's single season. I think that's what Bennett was saying.
For Caden.
Yep, he will break Slade's record if he gets 20 more.
He needs 20 more yards.
20 more. So. Yeah, so I mean, Caden will get it. Let's be real. Yep. I'll stick up for Slade here, though. He tore a ligament in his thumb. He couldn't catch the ball last 3 games of the year. So I'll stick up for Slade on this one.
I'm surprised you can find his footing half the time.
Little inside joke there. You guys won't understand that one, but shout out to Slade. We love Slade. Great friend of the pod. Actually helped fill in for me last week calling the game, and might have to fill in for me this upcoming week against St. Ansgar.
Fill in with you.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Fill in with me. Yes, fill in for Chris, fill in with me.
Yes.
Or maybe Matt can come down and let me call a game next week.
We'll see.
That's a no. If you guys could see his facial expression, that's a no. It's a big time no.
I would love to do a little color commentary.
No, she's not. Also, Lake Mills football added a Week 9 game. It's an optional Week 9 game for players or for teams that don't make the playoffs. They added Belmont Clemmy. I don't know how they did last night. I don't think they've won a game this year. So it would be nice to have a home game for the seniors to kind of go out. You know, it should be a good football game. Like Lake Mills should have.
They've added a 9th?
Yeah, because
they cut down to 8?
With the new playoff format, it's 8 games, and then if you don't make playoffs, you can have a Week 9 optional.
Okay. From
what I've understood. And when I was talking to Burns, he said it will stay that way as long as they keep the playoff format. They still have Tate Sander. How are they 0-6 with Tate Sander? He's fast. I know they lost like their whole O-line from last year.
But Jared said earlier, essentially they're like us, a couple good kids, and around them they're young.
Okay.
Gotta love that frozen screen.
Makes sense. Yeah, the frozen screen right now on Zoom. Chris must be getting down into the very populated area by Kennet.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to end this pretty soon. Well, Chris, you can leave at any time. We're just gonna kind of end this. We're gonna keep talking. Yeah, we're kind of losing your connection, so you can end at any time. Thanks for joining us, even though you're on the road. Yep, we will.
Hey, hold on. All right. Yeah, thank you guys. We'll have some snaps maybe later on the story of Kinnick.
Hawks.
And go Hawks.
Go Hawks, baby. See ya, Chris.
See ya.
So this is just me and Matt now to end this pod. His connection got a little wonky there towards the end, so we have 3.5 minutes left before this meeting ends. Cross country, Lake Mills cross country. They had a smaller meet this past week. Rigg and Johansson placed top 3, I believe. And then Cade placed 7th. He PR'd by like 29 seconds.
Let's go, Cade.
19:40. I'd love to see. There's times on Varsity Bound. I want to say he ran like over 21. It was like 21 something. Now he's at like 19:40.
Holy crap.
And he's a freshman.
This dude's only going to get bigger, too.
I know.
Some long strides.
I know, exactly. And what I was telling our Aunt Beth, Cade Van Ruckel's our cousin, by the way. That's why we love talking about it so much. He's the first like cross country runner in the family. So and he's like pretty good. So I don't know, it's kind of hype.
Yeah.
All of us really played football, and then the girls played volleyball. So it is pretty cool. Yeah. So shout out Cade. With volleyball, Lake Mills volleyball just won the conference title against Forest City this past week. Swept them in 3 games. I was checking the stream. Maybe 45 minutes after, like 7:45, game started around 7. I was like, okay, let's see if it's still going, and it was. And Lake Mills was up late in a set, and the announcers, Mrs. Ellingson and Ree Peterson, they were announcing the game. Yeah. They said Lake Mills was down 9-0 in this set. I'm like, oh my gosh, made a huge comeback.
That's crazy.
Lake Mills wins the set. Me and Slater watching it. We're like, oh, I wonder what the score is now. It was 3-0. They swept them. So they were shaking hands. I was like, holy cow.
That is tough to do for a conference title.
Exactly.
Very
Forest City
impressive.
and Lake Mills have been going back and forth for years now. So that's very impressive if you can sweep that Forest City team.
Yeah.
Esports, I'm not sure how they're doing, but I know they play like Super Smash Bros. And stuff. Our cousin Cade's on that team as well. Mr. Speece, I believe, coaches that team. It's cool. Esports are getting you can get a scholarship to play esports like at Waldorf. So I mean, it's a legitimate outlet or a legitimate what's the pathway for some of these kids to get their college paid for.
Yeah,
which is really cool.
It actually is super cool.
Yeah. So less than a minute, I'm going to talk about just Waldorf quick. Waldorf plays Mayville State. Waldorf should kill. I'm going to leave it at that. So go Warriors,
Waldorf,
go
let's
Hawks,
go,
go Vikings, go Bulldogs. Thank
Let's
you
go.
guys for listening today.
Yes, thank you guys.
End it off, Matt.
There's not much more to say. Let's get it. Hopefully we come back next week with a Hawkeye win. College football playoff hope still alive. Let's go. Peace.
Yes, sir. Hopefully Chris's audio isn't super wonky.
Yeah.
That would be a bad deal.